Point of this video is to discuss elements of a PPP loan indictment, of which I'm currently the subject. We'll discuss here the payments of the company for owner and officer compensation during the 24-week covered period during 2020 for its First Draw PPP loan. The federal government is alleged in the indictment, paragraph 10, beginning on an unknown date, but no later than in or around May 2020, and continuing through at least in or around February 2021, the Middle District of Florida and elsewhere, the defendant knowingly devised and intended to devise a scheme and artifice to defraud and to obtain money and property by means of materially false and fraudulent pretenses, representations, and promises. So the federal government has indicted me, stating that I engaged in a intentional scheme and artifice to defraud the PPP loan program. It says that this occurred beginning on an unknown date, but they're sure it's no later than in or around May 2020. They brought up May 2020 because that was when the First Draw PPP loans for two separate restaurants that I was involved in took place. What I'm going to discuss here is the First Draw PPP loan for business known as Beachway Restaurants, LLC, that owned a restaurant called South Beach Grill in St. Augustine, Florida. So that First Draw PPP loan that was obtained on May 5th, 2020, was in the total amount of $310,497. Now, from the company's payroll records, the ADP payroll records, it shows here that in gray, the two owners, which were Nieves Wig, my mother, and myself, during the 24-week covered period from May through the end of October, during which the SBA's interim final rules and the federal law per the CARES Act stated clearly that owners were allowed to take a prorated amount, a prorated salary of up to $100,000 each, and that salary would be fully forgivable on a pre-tax basis. So during that 24-week covered period, the ADP payroll records clearly show that Nieves Wig received a total of $12,250 in salary. I received $7,500 total, which was taken in one check during June of 2020. I did not pay myself in May, July, August, September, October, November, or December in that year, even though I was working in the restaurant full-time, 7 days a week, performing all tasks under the sun. So we took a total of $19,750 during the 24-week covered period. Now, here in yellow, what you can see is if you took, per the SBA's rules and that found in Section 1102 of the CARES Act, if you take $100,000 per owner, divide that by 52, which is the average weeks in a year, you get a weekly prorated amount of $1,923.08 per week. We now multiply that times 24 for the 24-week covered period, and you get a total of $46,153.85 per owner. So coming back here to the chart, each of us as owners were entitled to take $46,153.85, which would have been fully forgivable, totaling $92,307.69. We only took $19,750, as seen above. So here, if you calculate the difference, you see that we've actually forwent $72,557 $4,157.69 during that 24-week covered period. We would have been able to take this money under PPP rules and have it fully forgiven, but we forewent the salary of $72,557.69 additional during that time period. It's interesting that the federal government is alleging that a scheme and artifice took place beginning no later than May of 2020, yet as owners, we forewent $72,557.69 of fully forgivable salaries. Draw your own conclusions.